the Inception Archetype has become a coaching workshop for us. A lot of fun. It's about branding and marketing, and inspired by Dave Kaplan from Death & Co., who is kind enough to be in the book. I mean, we've got some real stars in the book, and Dave is an extraordinary talent. I don't know if you know Dave, but man, if you don't, you should. And that goes out to anyone. In his books, the Cocktail Codex, I think it's right behind me, and the Death & Co., amongst other things. He's just a wildly talented guy. And the way he thought about the guest experience was just different than what we had heard anyone else talk about. So that inspired a way of thinking around how we deliver on the guest experience when it begins. That's the inception part. When does the guest experience begin? And then we did. I worked with some people in pharmaceutical executives to talk about archetyping, about how do you get to your ideal guest, and how do you market specifically to a demographic that makes perfect sense for your business. So we merged this idea of the ideal guest and the ideal guest experience and pulled that together into hopefully a cohesive thought. And that's been really popular. Like, I got to talk about that at the BCB, in Berlin. I'm flown to Europe to talk about something. The book was worthy. Like, that was kind of worth writing the book. Just that was fun. Shout out to Angus Winchester for the invite. That was great. Had a lot of fun with it. So most people, and I'll give you just a little insight about what Dave thought about the guest experience, because I imagine that's what people might be wondering. But to Dave, the guest experience begins at inception, when you first think about going to the venue, not at the front door, not in the parking lot, not at the host stand. And I think that's how most of us are trained to think about the guest experience. If you want to know how someone who's won best cocktail bar in North America and one of the best operators in the world thinks about it, he thinks about it different. When you first conceive of going to the venue, building up the anticipation, giving someone something to look forward to, and with all that anticipation and all that buildup, when they do arrive, you still exceed expectations. And that's an extraordinary objective that he doesn't back away from. And I was blown away by that. Like, in terms of the concepts that were in the book, there's a lot of great concepts in the book. But I love the Inception Archetype bit because it was just so forward thinking and so smart, obvious, and manageable by anyone who wants to do the work. I love it. So